All Arkansas, all sports. It's more sports.
All right, welcome into the show. What's going on, everybody? Glad you're with us. I am Wes Moore. We are going to have some fun tonight. Of course, we're going to name our high school football player of the week a little bit later in the show. But first, we're going to talk a little Razorbacks. And we have a special guest tonight, Fernando Carmona Sr. It's Fernando Carmona Jr., the offensive lineman for the Razorbacks. His father is joining us and hops in on the show. You know, it was funny. We had Fernando on the radio show on the Buzz today, and I was like, you know, everybody calls you Junior. Do we call him Senior? And he's like, no, nobody calls him that. Everybody calls him Pops. And I was like, can I call him Pops? And he was like, yeah, call him Pops. He'll get a kick out of it.
That works.
All right, I'll call you Pops. We appreciate you coming on the show. I think it's I always love talking with parents, especially from out of state. You know, parents of Arkansas kids kind of know they know a lot about the Razorbacks and what it's like to be a Razorback. They grew up with it. You guys didn't, from Las Vegas, making that, coming to Arkansas. What's it like for you to become a part of the Arkansas Razorback family?
Oh, I feel excellent. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. And we had no idea where Arkansas even was. When he entered the portal and said, I'm going to Arkansas, my wife and I said, what the hell, Arkansas? And I don't think we were there more than an hour before we fell in love with Fayetteville, let alone Coach Pittman and Coach Mateos. So
what was it about Fayetteville that made you fall in love with it?
Just the friendliness of people, the little quaint town, you know, the greenery, everything we don't have in Vegas. You know, the spirit, the sorority, fraternity houses. It was like we were in awe of all of it. Because UNLV has nothing like that.
Yeah. What about SEC football? Now that you had a year to experience it, what's that like?
Indescribable. To be last week after the game, the week before, we had the Monday night game here in Vegas with the Raiders. And me and the wife went to the Raider game on Monday, and we just looked at each other. Wow, I feel like I'm at church after being at SEC games. No, the atmosphere is crazy. Ole Miss so far has been the best. But home games in Arkansas are electrifying.
Are you going to try to make the road games, all the road games this year?
We made home and road last year, and God willing, we'll do home and road this year too.
Pops, you don't know what you're in for because, well, first of all, it's going to start Saturday with Notre Dame. It's going to be a great environment. You get to go to Tennessee, 105, 110,000 people. You get to go to Texas, over 100,000 people there. And then, oh my goodness,
LSU.
Baton Rouge. Oh my, you're in for just a culture shock.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to it. We're excited. So
what do you think of the Razorback tradition? You off the woo pig suey, calling the hogs, all that stuff.
Woo pig suey, the turning the stadium red on Friday nights, all of it is just it's amazing. Like I said, we grew up with UNLV football, even though I went to Utah and went to Utah football games in the mid 80s, and those were fun. But going into Arkansas football game is an experience.
What's it like being the last 2 weeks? Because it's been tough. It's been tough for Razorback fans. It's been tough for the players. What's it like for the parents?
I think just as rough. And just knowing the work that these coaches and players put in, it just breaks my heart for them because they're all giving their best. They all work their tails off daily. And it was just like, man, it'd be great to see them have some success because they deserve it. Arkansas deserves it. But it's been rough. It's been rough.
You mentioned Coach Pittman, Coach Mateos. What was it about the recruiting by them that really sealed the deal?
Just how genuine and how loving Pittman was. You know, I remember we went to breakfast. I forgot where we went we had us and like three other recruits, And I sat across from him and just talking to him and talking to him. And then when he got up and like kind of put Junior in a headlock, and he said, "You're coming with me." And he took off with Junior in his truck to show him around. And me and my wife looked at each other and said, "This is the place." Then after sitting down with Coach Mateos and Coach Petrino and the weightlifting guy, they all blew our minds, and we're all very grateful for all of them.
I hear you love getting as much Razorback information as you can, that you're
Yeah.
watching podcasts and listening as much as you can. It's been a rough week.
It's been a rough week, and I don't know. I think if a lot of these people knew Pittman, they just wouldn't say the things they say about him, because he's just a great man, a great coach, and the ball hasn't bounced his way in the last couple of years. But yeah, I get too much of it. I listen to it all day. So, and you know, again, I was shocked because when he was at San Jose, we couldn't get no information. There was a little tiny article on the fourth page of the sports page after the games. It was like, wow, now I get to listen to all these podcasts, and you know, some I love, some I don't like too much, but I still listen to them. You know, I'm a big fan of Fourth and Five.
You got to be proud, very proud of the way Fernando's playing.
Extremely proud of the way he's playing, but just more proud that he went over there, got his degree. He's team captain, and just the kind of person he is has been just a pleasure. I have two boys. My other one's the same way. He makes the trips with his fiance too with us every week. So it's just a pleasure having both of my boys, my wife, my future daughter-in-law, and being able to watch Junior.
It's like a little family vacation every weekend.
Oh yeah, we get home on Sundays and we don't even put the suitcases away because we know Friday we're leaving again, and it's exciting.
How much Razorback gear do you have?
Oh, I wear it all day. Look, I'm wearing the 55 hat right now. No, we have a lot of stuff. So
when you get to Fayetteville, is there something you got to do? Is there a restaurant or something, someplace you got to visit? What's the first thing you got to do?
Oh, I'd love to go into Doe's. Doe's is great, and then the little burger place that's underground. I can't think of the name now. Hugo's, I want to say. It's just but Doe's is definitely a good place to go.
Could you ever imagine years ago that Fernando would be here in the SEC playing for Arkansas?
No, since his whole life revolved around AAU basketball and high school basketball. And then I would see him play, and he was good. He was a good high school player. But when I saw how kids could jump and he couldn't jump, I said, well, maybe if he stays playing basketball, he'll play at a mid-major or maybe a D2 school and just continue having fun playing basketball. So he decided to play football his junior year after his brother talked him into it.
And you were a football coach.
I was a football coach, and he always hung out on the sidelines. As a matter of fact, his freshman year, I was coaching the freshman team, and he drove to school with me, so he had to wait for me to get done with practice at 5:00. And he would be at practice for 3 hours, and he would just throw passes to my receivers all day, just hanging out. And all the guys would say, play football, play football. No. So at that time, he was playing tennis for the school. So how many tennis players end up being SEC linemen?
Was that hard on you? I mean, as a football coach, and your son, you're proud of your son. I got to think you wanted your son playing football.
Yeah, I wanted him to basically just be happy, and basketball is such a passion for him that I always always think play football. His brother played football, ended up playing at UNLV, and was a stud high school player, and he's the one that talked him into playing football. We were sitting down having dinner one night, and Junior goes, I need to go to Ross and get some cleats. I said, what the do you need cleats for? He goes, I'm playing football. We rushed to Ross. I think we got 3 pairs. He wears a size 15, so they have plenty of them at Ross. And the rest is history.
What was that moment like for you?
Oh, man, I was excited. I think I broke the speed limit going to Ross. Let's get some cleats on this kid. And it's been a great journey. Because even in San Jose, as small as it was and no atmosphere, we loved the San Jose because he was playing football and excelling. So
he goes from basketball and tennis to football
and volleyball.
and volleyball. Well, we see where he gets his athleticism and his good footwork. What position did he start out at football?
Oh, he played strictly tight end. And then he was stubborn and wanted to be a tight end. But when the recruiting process started, his first offer was San Jose State. And they said, no, we want you as a lineman. Then all the other offers came as lineman. And then he just realized, I'm going to get pretty big. Let me just be a lineman. And he went from like 245 to 300 pounds at San Jose State.
How big was he in high school when he started playing at tight end?
He was 220, 225. Slender, tall, tight end.
So he's really worked at getting to the SEC weights that he needs to be at.
Yes. I credit the weight room for Coach Sowers has done amazing things for Junior. So.
Well, I can tell you have a pretty big frame. He got that from you.
Yeah, but I'm only 5'11". I don't know where he got the 6'5" from. Yeah, but I'm pretty thick, so I think he got that.
Well, of course, you're sitting down, and no way did I think you were about to say 5'11". I figured you were a good 6'6", 6'5".
No, man. I wish.
Are his brothers tall?
No, his brother's my mini-me. He's 5'11". Yeah.
And Fernando came out at 6'5", and look at that.
Yeah, we're like, whoa. Mm-hmm.
Was he a good high school football player?
Yeah, the 1 year he played, he pretty much dominated out there. He only caught one touchdown pass, and that was the first game. I said, this is going to be a weekly thing, and it didn't happen no more. But he was pretty tough out there.
Did he play defense?
No, didn't play no defense. Coach Coach didn't have nobody going two ways. I think he would have been a good D end or D tackle in high school. No, but he's really embraced his offensive lineman thing, and it's been awesome.
When he first that day, I can't imagine you guys rushing to Ross to get 3 pairs of cleats, getting set. I mean, it's got to be. This is a heck of a story. I mean, you think about it: a tennis, volleyball player, basketball player, and now an SEC offensive lineman, moving to guard, getting looked at by the NFL. And it's a pretty short period of time.
Yes, it's all just steamrolled and like, wow, it's here and he's doing it. But it's crazy the work he's put into this thing is just amazing.
Where's he get the work ethic?
I gotta give the credit to Mom. Mom's a horse. Mom still works. She puts 10 to 12 hours a day. Luckily, they give her Fridays off, but she comes home Sunday. A lot of times, she's traveling for work on Monday. She's a goat. I've been blessed to be with her for 45 years.
That's awesome. Congratulations. What would happen if they wouldn't give her off on Fridays?
I think she would be joining me in retirement. Yeah. So, but she loves what she does and just loves the grind.
When you guys came to Arkansas, did you know what you were getting into?
Not a clue. Not a clue. But it was so good. I think we got there on a Wednesday, and we were supposed to leave Friday to go to Auburn for our final visit. And we just looked at each other and said, no, we don't need to go to Auburn. We're staying here. And then they took care of canceling our flight to Auburn, flying us back to Vegas. And the rest is history. And I think we made a great decision, and we're really happy with it.
Yeah, I'm sure they had no problem canceling that flight for you to Auburn.
So
sometimes it pays to be, that first recruiting visit. A lot of times they're like, you want to be the last visit and have that lasting memory.
Yeah. We went to UCLA the week before. And me being selfish, I love UCLA because I could drive to those games and drive home if I had to. But he did not feel the vibe, and thank God we didn't decide on UCLA, and we chose the Arkansas and Auburn trips, and Arkansas is all we needed, and we were sold.
How did it compare, UCLA and Arkansas?
In no way. There's no comparison. From facilities, from training tables to where the kids live, to not being able to have a car on campus. Everybody just rides the little scooters everywhere. That turned Junior off right away. Plus, the cost of living over there is crazy.
Well, and just the passion too. Yeah.
The passion. Yeah, the fact that you're playing in an empty Rose Bowl.
Yeah. I remember I made out there, and USC and Oregon were playing, and it went into overtime, and I'm at a restaurant bar. It's packed, and the TVs are on everywhere. Nobody was watching the game except for me and another dad from Texas, and it was just odd to me that I'm in California, outside of LA, and nobody is watching this USC Oregon great game that's going into overtime.
Oh, crazy. Hey, over in San Jose, we'd go to the convenience store all decked out in our San Jose stuff, and ask a guy, "You going to the game?" And let's say, "What game? Who's playing?" "San Jose, right down the street." "Oh, really? Okay." No, so that was and going to Arkansas now, where everybody's wearing their hog stuff. Everybody loves the hogs.
And if you got anything 55 on, I'm sure people know exactly who you are.
Yeah, we get complimented a lot because we sport our 55. My wife wears all the 55 buttons. I wear the jersey. We're proud to represent, just proud to go to the games and have fun.
Do you allow yourself to think about next year, the draft process and everything?
It's hard not to at times, but I just pray that he stays healthy, and God has a plan for him. Mm-hmm. He's a good kid. He's a college graduate, pretty good personality, and football will be great. But I think even without football, Junior's going to be just fine.
Yeah,
because that whole thing is from the time he finishes his last game to where the draft with the combine and all that, and going to Frisco, Texas, and training with the linemen. It's a journey, and I'm excited for that one too. I was looking online yesterday for combine tickets because I plan on spending the week in Indianapolis and being at the combine.
Isn't it crazy to think? What are we talking, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago? This dude's not playing football.
Well, yeah. And now he's a possible draft pick if things go right.
Yeah.
So,
who would have thought? Who would have thought 7 years ago?
I credit his coaches and I credit his work ethic.
Heck, you were just happy he was playing football.
Yeah.
Look what's happened. Where's he get his personality from? Because I love having him on the buzz every day or every Tuesday. He does a great job. He was great last year. It was a no-brainer for us to bring him back this year. And I promise you, Pops, it happens once a week. When we get done with him, someone texts in, makes a comment that he is the best NLI guy we have on the buzz. Where's he get that?
I think he gets a little bit from me and a lot from his brother. His brother's got I don't know if you ever heard the Pin and Pull podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're just, they're easygoing guys. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about either one of my kids. They're just, in high school, they were good kids. He was a class president. He was all this and all that. And it was just like, wow, this is Junior, because he was a little lazy, grumpy ass kid. Excuse me for cursing, and then his freshman year in high school changed everything he did.
But you just told me he was the class president?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I can't wait to use that next Tuesday.
Oh, class president, principal's award, you name it, he got it in high school.
Oh, that's going to be so good. I can't wait to pull that on him on Tuesday.
And I was a teacher at the school. So the whole thing was
in line. Cool.
What's that?
You kept him in line. He knew. He better.
Yeah, he knew. He knew. Now, his brother was a teacher at the school also. And when Junior didn't like what was going on in class, he would go to his brother's room and play video games because his brother was a special ed teacher. And finally, I got a little hint of it. It's like, Junior, your teachers are wondering where you're going to the bathroom for a half hour. Oh, I'm hanging out in George's room. I said, hell no, you can't do that. So that changed it. But all the teachers loved him.
All right, what's the plan for Saturday? What are y'all gonna do?
Well, I'm excited about this trip because my brother and his wife are making the trip for the first time. So we get to show them around the Dixon Street, all that. But usually we stay at his house and stay pretty low key, just hang out with him and his little pig.
Yeah, I've heard about the pig. And do y'all tailgate anywhere?
Yeah, we park in the players' parking lot, and we do a casual tailgate. We usually get Chick-fil-A and some mimosas, and we're good.
All right. Well, man, I hope I run into you Saturday. It's been a pleasure, Pops, having you on. We'll have to do this again, and best of luck. And congratulations. You've raised some great kids.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on.
It was a pleasure. Fernando Carmona Sr. joining us on More Sports. Definitely. We'll get him back on and talk a little bit more football with him. And just another reason why we talk about it all the time on the buzz. But, man, Fernando's a great guy, and it's when they lose, you try to stay unbiased. But, man, you're rooting for guys like that, and you don't want them to go through what they've been doing. All right, let's talk a little high school football now. Let's meet our high school football player of the week. He comes from Baptist Prep, Aaron Fielder, a do-it-all athlete joined by his head coach, Riley Perkins. Guys, welcome into the show. First of all, congratulations, Aaron. What a game last week against Episcopal in a rivalry game. That had to feel pretty cool.
Yes, sir, it did. It was very, very good to be able to do that, especially against a rivalry team. Always feels a little bit special about it.
Coach, tell me about his performance and why. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves with the 4 touchdowns, 245 total yards is what I read. Just what kind of night did he have for you?
Yeah, he had a really special night, and like he said, it's a trophy game for us. It's a rivalry game. It's super fun. We're playing us and Episcopal playing for the Cantrell Cup. We're both on Cantrell, just different ends of it. So that's super fun. And then not only did he have 245 yards and 4 touchdowns, he only played one half. Not only did he play one half, he had 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 receiving touchdown. So he's a super special player, a do-it-all. Like we were talking about, what position do you even label him as? Everything. He's a quarterback. He's a receiver. He's a running back. He does whatever it takes to the team. And last year he was just a receiver, had a ton of receiving yards, and this year he's sacrificed some of the receiving yards to help the team, and it's really benefited us so far. So can't say enough about him and the performance that he put on last Friday.
All right, Aaron, walk us through your 4 touchdowns.
So, yeah, we had 2 through the air. Well, obviously, there were screen passes, so not much on me there. All my receivers did all the work there. Had 1 rushing, just great blocking up front, able to basically walk it in. Receiving, Mashburn gave me a great ball, able to work with it in space. Just could take it to the house.
Coach, I'm curious, when do you take him out as quarterback and put him in as a wide receiver?
Well, I think the special thing about this group is, one, he's a really good athlete. But the special thing about this group is actually one of our quarterbacks who played quarterback the last half of the season for us this past year. I can't say enough about Andrew Mashburn as well. He has an incredible attitude, and it would be easy, in some capacity to say, well, I was the quarterback last year. Why am I not doing it? Why am I not the starting quarterback this year? But he does not act like that at all. He understands what we're trying to do. He understands he's going to get his shot. And I mean, he was 4 for 4 for 150 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. So he balled out as well. And the thing about these guys is they're just so unselfish. And so, we use him in a lot of ways. Sometimes he's a decoy. Sometimes he's the guy. Sometimes we throw screens to him. Sometimes he can do whatever we need him to do, which as a coach, it makes our job a little easier. But yeah, if we need one, through the air, then he may end up split out at receiver. He can play outside receiver, inside receiver. We move him all around to try and create as many matchups as possible. Also, him in the triple option run game is filthy. So there's I can't say enough about him and his willingness to just do whatever it takes for the team. Also, same thing for Andrew Mashburn. Our it's kind of like a 1A and 1B situation. It's just week to week. It depends on what we need the most, and what we can take advantage of. And this past week, it was mainly him at quarterback, and he played receiver for one snap, I think. Caught a touchdown on that snap. But it changes week to week. So it changes week to week on however we think we can attack the defense.
It's not really a dual threat athlete. It's like a what do you call it? A trial or a
triple threat. Yeah,
triple threat. Yeah, there you go. Aaron, what's your favorite position to play?
I really like wide receiver, just being able to go run and just because I'm faster guy, so I like just be able to just go. That's probably my favorite position, but I like quarterback too. I don't have a favorite. I like them all.
He also, I mean, he's got incredible hands. Like he's a phenomenal receiver. In college, he would probably end up playing a receiver. But for us, he's a good enough athlete that we need him all over the place. And like I said, he wants to be a receiver, and we know that. At the same time, he puts some of his own desires, I guess, to the side for whatever it takes for the team. And that's how this group is overall. Just can't say enough about the leadership that we have on this team, with guys like him and Jacob Dunn and Brady Williams and when you're like this and not necessarily individuals, that takes you wherever you want to go. And I think that was the start of what happened this past Friday.
And Aaron, you're just a junior, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. When you talk about college, do you want to play college ball?
It's definitely on my mind. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't really know what it looks like quite yet. I'm a bit of a smaller guy, so I got to get bigger first, I think.
He's a great baseball player as well, so don't let him sell himself short. He could do whatever he wants to do. He's a great baseball player as well.
All right, Aaron, what are you thinking? College baseball, college football?
Oh, I don't know. That's hard. I've been playing baseball since I was as young as I can remember. So I don't know. I'd probably say baseball, but I love football too. So,
Aaron, what was the feeling like Friday night? I mean, you're scoring through the air, throwing the ball, you're running the ball. Just what was that like as a player that first half?
I mean, it kind of felt like you couldn't really mess up. It was like if you did, it was like everyone would forget that mess up and they'll remember the big play or whatever. So you just kind of felt loose, really just able to play the game, have fun.
Coach, how big was that win for y'all before you start conference play?
Yeah, it was huge. And you look at, we are 1-2. You look at our two non-conference games that we lost. Both games we lost by a combined 9 points, so we're 9 points shy of being 3-0 instead of 1-2. In both games, we had a touchdown inside the last minute of the game that got called back that gave us the lead. And so. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the other teams that played super hard, and they're good football teams, and they were better than us on those nights. At the same time, we knew that we were going to have to kind of figure out what this group looked like. This is the best group that we've had in a long time, but it's unique. It's a unique crew, and so like him being receiver last year, we knew where he was going to line up, and we knew how we were going to get him the ball. And this year, it's like week to week, how do we figure it out? So I think we did figure an aspect out of that in every single game that we've played. Unfortunately, some of I guess you win some and then you learn some is kind of the approach that we've had, and we learned a ton through our first two losses. At the same time, it was super, super good to get back on track, and to get that bad taste out of your mouth, going into conference play. And this week we open here at our place with Carlisle. So starting conference with a bang, but we're excited to build on how we've grown the first 3 weeks of the season and to have them roll up into our place this Friday.
Coach, do you feel like it's a little deja vu from your Friday nights and then watching the Razorbacks on Saturday?
Yeah, it does feel like that a little bit, to be quite honest. And some things are out of our control, and some things were, a result of things that we did and penalties that got called back when we score the last both games inside the last few minutes to take the lead that ends up getting called back. And so I think the biggest thing we can do is the biggest approach we've had, which I can't say enough about our leadership that we have on our team, and the guys that we have who were just like, hey man, let's learn from it and grow. There was never a moment when you start 0-2 and lose by a combined 9 points. There was never a moment that it felt where we showed up on a Monday practice and guys weren't prepared or guys weren't locked in or guys were like, man, I'm done with this or whatever. It's like, man, let's learn from it, let's grow, and let's get back to our winning ways that we're trying to create here. But yeah, the unfortunate aspect is there for a few weeks, me as a Hog fan and obviously coaching this team, that there was a few rough weekends in there along the way. It was like, man, can't buy a win. But yeah, I'm happy we got that taste out of our mouth. I hope the Hogs can do the same thing soon.
Aaron, how do you and your teammates plan on building off of last Friday night's win and heading into conference play?
I mean, I think it was great to get the bitter taste out of our mouths from the past 2 weeks and to get a win. But also, I think we're looking at it with we did make some mistakes in the game, and if we can fix those mistakes, we can be so much better, and we can really live up to the potential that we have as a team, which I think that's a great mentality going forward.
Well, Aaron, congratulations on a just fantastic game. 245 total yards, 4 touchdowns in one half, and you had it through the air, you had it through rushing. Defense, you're not out there on defense scoring touchdowns?
Not this week.
Hey, this guy has 4 interceptions through the first 3 weeks of the year playing safety. So not he scores in a variety of ways. He's a ball player. He is. He's going to be out there. If the game's being played, he's going to be out there in some form or fashion. But I can't say enough about this guy.
Coach, Aaron, thank y'all for joining us. And Aaron, congratulations again for being the More Sports Player of the Week. What an awesome performance. Good luck in conference play.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
All right, that awesome catching up with them and talking a little Baptist Prep football. We'll talk some more high school football tomorrow night. Of course, we'll have the rankings for each classification, and we're going to talk a little bit more Razorback football. Thank you for joining us, but be sure to join us tomorrow night for more sports.
All Arkansas, all sports.